Raid Leader is a game with TRPG elements and RTS elements on PC. The player plays the role of the captain of a dungeon exploration team, commanding 5 team members to fight the dungeon's boss. The flow of the battles and many of the mechanics reference team copies of various MMORPGs Raid, but operate more like an RTS. The player needs to move around by dragging a character with the mouse pointer, who will automatically attack enemies within his attack range, as well as dragging and dropping the character to handle the mechanics of the boss battles. The game's visuals resemble a wargame tabletop setup with 5 pieces surrounding an enemy piece, so I'd say it contains TRPG elements. The player's 5 team members have a variety of roles. Some are melee, some are long range, including a knight who acts as a tank, a rogue who does high damage but is vulnerable, a druid who can heal his teammates, a mage who has a long attack range but consumes mana, and a ranger who can provide efficient damage. Players can manually cast their skills. About level design, the first thing that comes to mind is to avoid traps. The venue will generate spike traps at random in the 5 areas at intervals. There will be a warning indicator before the generation. Players need to move the character to a safe location before the warning indicator is filled. Then I wanted to restore the classic call-out mechanism of MMORPG, so I designed that friendly characters except the knight would be marked by the boss at regular intervals, and a barrel of explosives would appear above their heads. The barrel of explosives would explode after a period of time and leave a pool of damaging flames on the ground. There would be a warning indicator too, and the character with the barrel of explosives needed to be taken out of the crowd before the warning ended to create a safe space for other team members. During the battle, a skeleton mage will be generated at regular intervals. When it is present, it will continuously provide the boss with a shield that can reduce damage, so it needs to be killed in time. When the boss's health is below half, he will cast an AoE skill that affects the entire field. After charging, all characters will be knocked back a fixed distance. All members need to gather in front of the boss to prevent being knocked out of the field by the skill. Items that restore health and mana will appear on the field from time to time. Characters without mana bars cannot pick up items that restore mana. If the boss has no target, it will cast a high damage full area AoE. So make sure there is a tank to taunt the boss. For 3D art, I used the models in the K-Kit series resource pack to build scenes and characters. In order to match the character model with the pixel style skill effects, I added the shader Pro Pixelizer that can pixelate the 3D model. The 2D art is mainly in the UI. These are all drawn on the pixel art board, Aseprite. The core code of this game is the code that automatically attacks enemies in range, but it's not complicated. It just traverses the attack range to find if there are any enemy collision bodies. If there is, it executes the attack logic. The method of generating damage and the method of taking damage are also important. While developing this game, I learned how to manage all the character attributes such as the amount of health and mana. I also learned how to create a skill system. I think the special thing about this game is that the experience of playing a level is like condensing a boss battle in an MMORPG raid, and the way of operation is much easier and more casual. This kind of dragging and dropping of the characters is even very suitable for porting this game to mobile, and I think it has a good prospect for development.